In this presentation, I will take you on a journey of surveys for the help desk. The help desk performance is generally measured using two kinds of metrics. The first metrics are the ones which are the internal metrics and which are more got to do with efficiency. And the other ones are the ones which are the outward facing or the customer and which are more got to do with the effectiveness. The focus of this presentation would be the effectiveness metrics for evaluating the help desk. The help desk could also be referred to as the service desk, or in some places, if the role is rather restricted, it could just be a call center. So call center, help desk, service desk in the continuum. The effectiveness metrics are typically the surveys that are carried out in which we actually seek the end user to evaluate the help desk performance. I recommend two kinds of surveys. The first kind of survey is the one that is instantaneous survey. That is, I call up the help desk and as soon as I finish my call, I can actually rate them on a scale of 1 to 3 as to whether I am happy, pleased, or I am neutral or no comment, or I am sad or unhappy. So that would be the quick survey after every call, and what that enables is for the operator or the customer care representative to get an instant feedback on what was felt by the customer. There is not much of thought or reasoning or scientific parameters built into it. The end customer rates it on what he feels was the performance level of the customer service representative. The other kind of the surveys are the more detailed ones. And in this, what we basically do is we identify the 5 parameters that will actually render a help desk to be more effective and customer satisfied. So what are these 5 parameters? The first one is, what are the various options in which the help desk is accessible? So let's say it's night 9 o'clock and I was trying to log in, a remote login, and I failed. So I need to call up the help desk and raise a ticket for them to resolve the problem. Accessible. So are they accessible? If I am functional 24/7, or let's say I work on a night shift at the field location, then I expect that my help desk also would be able to, or I expect that my help desk also is accessible during my hours of functioning. Otherwise, I may not be able to function at all. So accessibility is the first parameter. The second parameter is availability. So the help desk is supposed to be accessible in my hours of working, but were they available? And this will also imply as to how much time I had to wait before my call was actually picked up. Once you pick up the call, the third parameter is courtesy. I am having a problem and it's causing me pain and maybe suffering, and I want the help desk operator to be empathetic and understand my pain point. I want them to treat me as if they are having the same problem, and this is a very important factor. So courtesy would imply the way they welcome me, and that means that they actually welcome my call. They are getting paid for providing a service, and that service is provided to me. So I am their customer and I expect them to be happy when I make a call. That's what their existence is for. Courtesy. After the initial courtesy, good evening sir, how may I help you and all that bit, comes the technical stuff as to whether they are able to help me, they are able to troubleshoot my problem. So courtesy is one factor. Another factor is whether they are able to actually resolve my problem in that call itself, which we also refer to as FCR or first call resolution. The technical. And the last parameter is in case they were not able to resolve my issue in the first call, they would have escalated it to the next level. So I expect that they would give me the incident ticket number, the name of the operator whom I was calling, and also the time frame within which my ticket would get resolved. So if I'm promised that my ticket would get resolved in the next 4 hours, before the 4 hours ends, if the ticket is resolved, I want them to call me up and say that the ticket has been. And if they still haven't been able to do it at 4 hours, again I want them to call me and update me as to what has happened, why it has not yet been resolved, basically keeping me in loop. These are the 5 factors or the 5 parameters on which we base the long survey, and each of them could further be divided into smaller questions or subsections or sub-questions. But principally, these are the 5 things on which the survey is based on. A recap: to measure the help desk or the call center or the service desk, we have the effectiveness metrics and the efficiency metrics. The efficiency metrics are the internal metrics, which we will do subsequently. Effectiveness metrics is how the end customer views the service of the service desk. And in that we recommend 2 kinds of surveys. The first kind of survey is the short survey. At the end of the call you rate on a scale of 1 to 3 as to how was your interaction, are you happy with it, are you neutral, are you unhappy. That gives an instant feedback. And the other, the detailed one, is typically sent once the ticket was closed, or it could be part of a quarterly exercise that is carried across all end users if at the end of every ticket we are not sending a survey link. And this would be based on a logical sequence of parameters starting with accessibility, whether there were more than one options in which I could actually access them, availability, courtesy, the technical knowledge, and lastly, they're keeping me in loop. Thank you for listening and please be back.